Happy Monday and welcome in. Thanks for joining us on air and streaming on the KARE 11 app. I'm Cece Gaines in for Jason alongside Alicia Lewis.
Yeah, I hope everyone had a great weekend. We're able to get outside. It was beautiful. It was windy at times, but nonetheless, Ben, I think it was a pretty decent weekend.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how blue the sky was both Saturday and Sunday. We don't have any smoke. Low humidity means we don't have a bit more of a haze like we typically do this time of year. So yeah, great weekend to be outside. And this morning we are starting off on the cooler side, but it is a mostly sunny start. Now the metro core, it's pretty warm right now, 55 degrees. That urban heat island effect in full force. You can see outside the metro, we're in the 40s. Cambridge, Princeton, even St. Cloud into the mid 40s right now. Brainerd at 42 degrees. So it's a cooler start, but again, sunshine this morning will lead to increasing clouds through lunchtime, and notice those showers developing over the Canadian prairies. That's in our forecast later today. So after a sunny start, increasing showers and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder later this evening and overnight. Heavier rain chances arrive on Wednesday. Should be a busy first half of the week, and we'll time out those rain chances in more detail coming up. But first, let's get a look at the roads with Cece.
If you're spending some time over in St. Paul this weekend, you remember this project. 94 eastbound was shut down between 35E and Highway 61. And now things are back open as of 6:02. You see the construction barrels there on the side. But as you make your way toward the Oakdale area, the Hudson area, you won't have to add any extra time right now or anywhere else across the Twin Cities metro. I am seeing a little bit of slowing over in Waconia, Highway 5, but other than that, things are green. All right, 6:02, we have to get to this breaking news in Minneapolis right now. Take a look at your screen. Police are asking for your help finding a missing 10-year-old. They say Jason Rogers was visiting family from Brooklyn Park and was last seen in the Hawthorne neighborhood around 5 last night. He was wearing a white t-shirt and beige jogging pants. Please, if you have any information, you're asked to call 911.
Let's get back to our top story this morning. We've been following breaking news on the war in Iran.
We have in the last 12 hours, the president announced a peace deal has been reached to end the war. Megan McPherson is at the live desk with the latest. Hi, Megan.
Good morning. So President Trump announcing on Truth Social that a deal has been reached just over 12 hours ago. This announcement came shortly after Pakistan, a key mediator in the talks, posted its own statement, the prime minister writing in part that both sides have agreed to an immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon. He also says a formal signing is scheduled for this Friday in Switzerland, with what he called pre-implementation discussions set to take place in the meantime. There are, though, still many unanswered questions about what exactly is included in this agreement, but Iranian state media reports the memorandum contains 14 points, including Iran reaffirming its commitment not to produce nuclear weapons, while billions of dollars in Iranian funds would be unfrozen. Iranian state media also reports after the deal is signed, there would be a 60-day period for final negotiations focused on Iran's nuclear program and remaining sanctions. And meanwhile, President Trump is traveling to France today for the G7 summit, where he is expected to meet with key allies as those questions remain about the future of this agreement. Back to you.
Megan, thanks for that update. We're also keeping an eye on how this is all impacting what you're paying at the pump. With the U.S.-Iran peace deal, crude oil prices are already dropping. Take a look. We just checked before our newscast, and prices have dropped again. Here's a look at current averages in Minnesota. The third week in a row, prices fell, down 55 cents from a month ago. But as you can see, we're still paying almost $1 more than we were the same time last year.
Well, listen to this. This morning, the NTSB is investigating a skydiving plane crash that killed 12 people in Missouri, the state's deadliest aviation tragedy since 2004. It happened in Butler, which is about 60 miles south of Kansas City. The plane was carrying 11 skydivers and the pilot. It crashed just after takeoff and burst into flames on airport property. Officials say some of those on board were new skydivers, and family members were on the ground watching when that plane crashed.
Not a lot of them, my understanding, were experienced, but just getting to enjoy God's green earth and then have something like this turn so tragic while potentially other family members were watching.
Yeah, just horrible. The sheriff says the crash appears to be an accident, but we won't know the official cause for several days. Also right now, the entertainment world is mourning the death of American singer and rapper Oliver Tree. He died when his helicopter collided with another in Rio de Janeiro yesterday. He was traveling there for a world tour. Tree was one of 6 people on board who died. Officials haven't officially identified the bodies yet, but tributes to Tree are pouring in. The cause is still under investigation this morning.
Well, it's been 1 year since an act of political violence shook our state and beyond. A gunman targeting multiple Democratic lawmakers in their homes, killing Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, as well as their dog, and severely wounding Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. The somber milestone comes just days after the shooter admitted to the crime in federal court.
And now the community and loved ones are focusing on the victims and the survivors. Here's Audrey Rousseau.
Good morning. The tragedy brought the already tight-knit neighborhood where the Hortmans lived even closer together. Now, this is the Edinburgh Golf Course area in Brooklyn Park. Take a look at your screen. The folks in this neighborhood watched the massive police response 1 year ago to Mark and Melissa's home, capturing SWAT teams on trail cameras and watching crews search through everyone's backyard. The shooter, Vance Belter, pleaded guilty last week in federal court and will now spend life behind bars. Signs remembering Melissa still line the streets that she represented in St. Paul.
I wasn't expecting it to really take off like it did. This was something that I wanted to do for her, my friend, my neighbor.
And it's amazing to walk through the neighborhood and you see a number of signs that people have put up and have kept up in their yards, for the whole year.
And the celebration of Mark and Melissa's legacy continues this week. The city of Brooklyn Park on Wednesday night is hosting a night of remembrance that's going to be held at the Edinburgh Golf Course, and it's going to be held at 6 p.m. Back to you.
Audrey, thank you for that. And we invite you to join us as we take a look back on the tragedy and how the Hortmans' legacies live on. We have a special streaming right now on demand on our free app for your TV.
Well, parents, we have an important recall to tell you about this morning. Baby formula sold at Target stores across the country now being recalled. Nara Organics is voluntarily recalling all lots of its powdered infant formula on the market. The company says the move is out of an abundance of caution because of the potential risk of botulism. At least 3 infants in different states have been hospitalized in connection with the recall. So far, there are no reported deaths.